Welcome back to all my friends who share the same passion for mechanical restoration and craftsmanship. And as you can see right in front of us today, this is a vehicle that has suffered from severe deterioration after many years of use. At first glance, it is easy to notice extensive rust damage across the body, especially on the floor section, which has almost completely corroded and deteriorated. The current condition of this vehicle is definitely not an easy case to handle. For many people, seeing damage like this would probably lead them to replace the vehicle entirely or remove large sections just to complete a quick repair. But for true mechanical enthusiasts and skilled craftsmen, projects like this become an exciting challenge worth taking on. According to the owner, he brought this vehicle here hoping to restore all the rusted areas instead of replacing everything completely. That means the technician's job is not simply about repairing damaged metal, but also preserving as much of the vehicle's original structure and appearance as possible. Looking more closely, we can see that the floor area has experienced the most serious damage. Large sections of metal have been weakened to the point where they can no longer provide proper structural support. However, for experienced metalworkers, replacing the floor itself is not the most difficult task. With accurate measurements, careful cutting, and fabrication of new panels, restoring this area is completely achievable. The real challenge lies elsewhere, in the sliding door and the side step area. These sections contain much more complex construction, with multiple connected layers of metal that must maintain strength, alignment, and smooth operation. Even a small error of a few millimeters could cause the door to stick, create unwanted noise, or prevent it from closing properly. Because of that, the technician cannot simply cut and weld based on guesswork. Every curve, every fold, and every dimension must be carefully observed and measured before fabrication begins. Some of these details may appear small, but they determine the quality of the entire restoration. What impressed me the most was the way he approached the work. There was no rushing at all. Every movement looked controlled and intentional, from marking damaged areas, removing rusted metal, shaping replacement sections, to final welding and fitting. Each step was completed with professionalism and confidence. Watching him handle the tools, you can immediately feel that this level of work comes from years of accumulated experience rather than technical knowledge alone. Some actions may seem simple at first glance, but performing them cleanly, accurately, and efficiently requires countless hours of practice. Especially during the restoration of the sliding door area, he continuously adjusted and tested the fit to ensure all panel gaps remained even. After every weld, he checked the movement of the door before making additional refinements until everything operated smoothly again. This is what separates ordinary repairs from truly high-quality restoration work. Without sufficient skill and experience, rebuilding complicated sections like these becomes an enormous challenge. A technician must understand vehicle structure, know how to control heat during welding, avoid metal distortion, and maintain precision throughout the process. That is also why not everyone can successfully complete restoration projects involving vehicles in such poor condition. Some vehicles may look impossible to save, but in the hands of the right person, they slowly come back to life piece by piece. And honestly, what I enjoy most about projects like this is not only the final result, but also the entire process behind it. Watching an old, rusty, heavily worn vehicle gradually return through patience, craftsmanship, and passion for mechanical work is something truly satisfying. So what do you think? After watching this technician's work process, what are your thoughts on his skills and craftsmanship? Do you think this is one of the most difficult restoration jobs a metalworker can face? Leave your opinion in the comments below. He truly is an exceptional craftsman in the field of restoring heavily rusted vehicles. After watching his entire working process, I feel that he is not simply an ordinary mechanic, but someone who has spent many years building experience and refining his skills through countless restoration projects. As you can see, most of the vehicles brought to his workshop are in extremely poor condition. Some have severely corroded floor panels, others suffer damage around the doors, side steps, wheel arches, or other complex structural areas. What makes this type of work especially interesting is that almost no two vehicles are exactly alike, and that is precisely what makes rust restoration much more difficult than ordinary replacement work. When performing routine repairs, mechanics often follow established procedures and fixed methods, but restoration work like this is completely different. Every vehicle presents a unique challenge with different levels of damage, different structural problems, and different solutions. Some vehicles only require cutting out and replacing a small damaged section. Others demand preserving as much of the original structure as possible, which means the craftsman must carefully measure, design, and hand fabricate parts that perfectly match the existing body. Because of that, there is no universal formula. Each project requires a different approach. This kind of work demands strong observation skills, flexible thinking, and most importantly, constant creativity throughout the entire restoration process. Some parts may look simple at first glance, but in reality, they require tremendous experience to rebuild correctly. A small mistake in angle, curvature, or measurement could affect how the entire section fits and functions. What impressed me most was not the equipment he used or whether his tools were expensive. What impressed me was the way he solved problems. Before touching each damaged section, he carefully observed the condition, thought through the process, and only then began working. Sometimes he had to cut, adjust, reshape, and test multiple times before finding the right solution. That kind of experience is difficult to learn from books alone. I believe one of the greatest strengths of craftsmen like him is the amount of real-world experience accumulated through hundreds or even thousands of restoration jobs. Every vehicle becomes a lesson, and every successful repair adds new knowledge for future work. Of course, formal engineering education is extremely valuable and provides a strong technical foundation, but practical experience developed over many years is equally important. There are situations where no manual gives a perfect answer. At those moments, observation, adaptability, and hands-on experience become the deciding factors. Watching this man work gave me the feeling that he is not simply repairing cars. He is solving problems through the mindset of someone who truly understands materials, vehicle structures, and the process required to bring damaged machines back to life. Maybe that is why so many people enjoy watching restoration videos like this. We are not only watching a vehicle being repaired, we are watching something that once seemed beyond saving gradually return through patience, skill, and dedication. If football has players who are celebrated as superstars because of their ability to create something extraordinary on the field, then I believe that in the mechanical world, craftsmen with outstanding skills, adaptability, and passion deserve recognition as well. For me personally, the most impressive thing is not how fast he works or even how perfect the final result looks. What stands out most is his dedication to the craft and the persistence behind every step of the process. So what do you think? After watching this technician at work, what impressed you the most? His speed, precision, creativity, or years of practical experience? Share your thoughts in the comments and let everyone know what you think. As the automotive industry continues to develop, we are witnessing the rise of large-scale factories equipped with modern production lines and advanced automation. Today, thanks to technological progress and highly efficient manufacturing systems, producing a new vehicle has become faster and more streamlined than ever before. This progress brings many benefits to modern life. People have more choices, vehicle quality continues to improve, safety standards are higher, and transportation has become more accessible for millions of people. But alongside these advantages, there's also an important question worth thinking about. What happens to old vehicles? In reality, when a vehicle becomes heavily worn out or the cost of repair grows too high, choosing to replace it with a newer one is completely understandable. Decisions like that are often based on practicality, convenience, and long-term cost. However, as more vehicles are discarded over time, another issue gradually appears. Behind every old vehicle that gets abandoned is more than just worn metal. Each one represents a large amount of resources that were used to create it. Building a single vehicle requires metals, energy, industrial materials, transportation, manufacturing processes, and countless hours of human effort. Every product we create carries a certain environmental cost and uses valuable natural resources. Because of that, when products that still have restoration potential are discarded too early, it can place additional pressure on future resource consumption. That is one reason why repair, restoration, and reuse are becoming increasingly meaningful. Of course, not every vehicle can or should be restored, but in cases where restoration remains practical, extending the life of an existing product can create real value. When an old vehicle is repaired and continues serving for many more years, it means making better use of what already exists instead of replacing it immediately. And that is why I believe the work of restoration craftsmen deserves appreciation. People like him are doing more than simply repairing rusted metal. They are investing time, skill, patience, and experience to give something a second chance. Every weld, every restored panel, and every carefully rebuilt detail reflects not only technical ability, but also dedication and persistence. What I enjoy most about videos like this is not simply seeing a vehicle become beautiful again. It is watching something that once seemed finished gradually come back to life through human effort and craftsmanship. There is something deeply satisfying about that process. From an economic perspective, restoration can sometimes help preserve value and reduce unnecessary replacement costs. From an environmental perspective, extending the useful life of products is one approach many people support in order to use resources more responsibly. And above all, work like this reminds us that not everything old needs to be thrown away immediately. If something can still be repaired and used responsibly, it may continue creating value for years to come. That is why every view, every comment, and every moment you spend watching videos like this means a great deal to us. You are not only watching a vehicle being repaired, you are also helping support craftsmanship, practical skills, and a mindset that values restoration and responsible use. I truly appreciate everyone who stayed until the end of this video. I wish all of you good health, happiness, and many wonderful things in life. May your days be filled with positive energy, peace, and meaningful moments with the people you care about. Thank you so much for being here and supporting this journey. May God watch over you and bless your life. Goodbye, and I'll see you again in the next video.